So should we start? Well, let me introduce myself. I'm David from Metal Shock Finland and PowerMetal.cl. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. We have a busy week. The album just came out. We're playing festivals, and today we had a bass playthrough released, and there's a lot of stuff to do at the moment, and it's a little bit overwhelming at one point. So much reactions at the moment, but album is doing fantastic, so couldn't be any better.
Yeah, what kind of feedback have you gotten from the fans like over this weekend?
Yeah, we had amazing feedback. We've been on 2 big festivals, and people reacted amazing. The CDs were sold out everywhere. The vinyl was sold out, and people really dig the album. People love it. It's the best reactions we had in 20 years or so. I think it's actually crazy. Also, just getting news that on release day, we were on the trend charts on place number 12 in Germany. Like, we've never been that high ever in history. That's like the highest we've ever been entering the trend charts. That's a very good sign that people are really excited about the album also. So it's great to see that. I mean, of course, nowadays you also have Instagram and Facebook where people post pictures with the album, and it shows the excitement. It's nice to see.
Yeah, and one of the main differences of the album is of course the new lineup with 2 guitars and a new drummer. Can you discuss a little bit the contribution of Randy and Damir to the Sound of Destruction?
I mean, we made a mistake once in 1985 or 86 actually, when we had 2 new members, that we gave the new members too much space, and they kind of ruined the band. Basically, it sounds bad, but that's the way it was, So it took us a long time to find trust in the idea again to bring a second guitar player. But this time we brought people in that we know, people that we like, people that didn't want to put themselves in the position of being a songwriter or something right away. We had one clear thing, and it's Mike and me are the songwriters of the band. We write the songs, and the other guys they're open to contribute. We give them space. We don't tell them what to play. They can be themselves on this album, and I think it worked pretty well. Randy put a lot of drum beats in. For 2 songs, he wrote all the drum patterns in advance, and we kind of made songs out of the drum patterns, basically. So it was a different approach of writing. It's very interesting. And Damir had a lot of space for his solos, leads, for his overdubs, for extra guitar harmonies. We were pushing him to the limit. He was actually the one that was afraid to play too much, and but we wanted the new guys to be a part of this, and that only happens when you give them freedom of playing, and that's what we did.
Yeah, but although they don't write songs, but like maybe Damir is a more technical guitar player, maybe also like Randy comes from a more technical school. Maybe do you think that could affect like the overall sound, not so much the songwriting?
I don't think so, no, because Bauer was much more of a technical player than Randy. Rava is much more into jazz and stuff like Randy, but Randy is a very much of a rock player. He has a lot of swingy beats, and he's going on the mark right away. But he has this very unique style. He plays, but more on the money when it comes to stuff. That's something that you can hear as an album. He has on many different rock and metal styles, and Damir's style of soloing is what we were looking for. We were looking for somebody that can shred, because we already have a riff master with Mike, but we wanted to have somebody that can do something extra on the solos. That's what Damir does, and I think this mix together with like very solid songs. The songs are really catchy this time. We were the live approach for the live situation. I think that's a big difference to the last albums. Something we already learned on Under Attack on the last album is that sometimes less is more, and it's all about the song at the end. It's not about having musicians showing off. It's about writing good songs that people want to hear live, and that's something I think Born to Perish really has. All of those 10 songs would be great live songs, I think.
Definitely. Do you have any favorite ones?
It's very difficult. the way the album starts, I think we put some favorite at the beginning, but also the end of the album has some really strong material. So for me, it's very difficult. I have special bond on certain songs that I wrote, or special lyrics that I wrote, like the lyrics for "Inspired by Death" are about some friends that died last year or beginning of this year also. So it's a very personal song, so it means a lot to me, I think also the song turned out very cool because it's very old school, very easy, and so it's a special song. But also I like "Betrayal" because it's maybe my favorite song of my songs that I wrote, and I like "Butchered for Life" because it's a different song, it has this Richard Emotions feeling with acoustic guitars, something we couldn't do for 20 years or more than 20 years, and that's something special for me again. That we could do the whole twist with two guitars, being a little bit more progressive on the song. Also, it sticks out to the rest of the record. But I also like the song like "Rotten" because of the triplet feeling. It has a different kind of vibe than the rest of the album, which is more like thrashy, in your face and offbeat style. So I think there's a lot of little things in the album that you maybe don't hear when you listen to it the first time, but that show off by later listenings, So it's very difficult for me to say this is my favorite song, Of course, "Born to Perish," the title track, sticks out too because it stands for the album, basically.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned your lyrics, and they're very important to you. And well, since the beginning of Destruction, you've been very critical towards politicians, powerful people, religion. And have you seen any change happen during this 30 plus years of your career? Are we basically facing the same problems?
It got worse. That's a bad thing. It got worse. When we wrote "Curse to Gods," all this religious bullshit was not as bad as it is now. Now we have religious wars again. And as you could see, the politicians got worse too because we have more wars in the world now than in the last 50 years. We have a lot of critical situations of world economies. We have a lot of crazy politics in office now. Look at America. Look at Hungary. Look, in many countries, the conservatives, right wings are leading the country again. So it actually got worse. But what I realized from this album when I wrote my lyrics and when I watched the world is that the capitalistic system is coming to an end. People more and more start to realize it's not working. And even big world economists are actually approving that by now. And I don't know if I will still be able to witness this with my own eyes, but this capitalistic system will fail, and has failed already, and it will come to an end in the next years. And, people have to find something new. I like progressive ideas. I think Finland is actually a country that is very progressive in that way and have as the first country in the world started this minimum wage kind of thing that people get, a certain payment from the government to have enough money to survive and then be maybe independent in their jobs or don't have to live on the street and stuff like this. I think that's very interesting, and that's stuff I'm writing about basically.
Yeah. And you wrote "Eternal Ban" back in '86, and metal bands are still banned for playing in certain countries due to conservative regulations. How do you think this is possible still in 2019?
It's actually crazy to see this, in a modern world, that people can be so conservative, The conservatives are leading this planet, and this will never change, I guess. They're the ones in office and the one in power. Today, I just heard in Germany, CBD oil now was banned from a big market, from a big chain, CBD oil that is proven to help people when they have cancer, when they have depressions and stuff, It's a thing that is legal and allowed, but it gets off a store because conservative people complained about because it's made from marijuana, It shows how conservative and two-faced all those people are. For real, it's like this, look at America and Canada, they have legalized marijuana because it makes a lot of money for them, for their economy. And this will come hopefully one day too here. All these uptight people will go and fucking die, and the new generation will be an open one, and then a generation of peace and sees the world as a whole and the world as it is, as a planet that is our survival, our future, the future for your kids, But mankind is too stupid to understand. So, songs like Eternal Band about the oppression and the unity of metalheads will always be an important part of Destruction's lyrics, because for me, heavy metal is a thing to break out of the routine. It was like this when I was 16 years old. It's like this when I'm 50. It's no difference, For me, metal is for me a unity. It's for me a community that is of different people that try to break out, try to look over the horizon, and yeah, that's why I'm proud to be a metalhead.
Yeah, and it's really strange for me when you hear or read in media that they're still blaming video games and metal for inciting to violence, when it's actually probably the system that makes people go crazy.
Exactly. It's the system, and it's the wrong rules of the system that make people go crazy, But you always look for the weak link in to accuse, and of course that's the obvious weak link. It's the easiest solution, so they go for it,
Yeah, but moving on to happier things, I'm looking forward to seeing the new lineup live. How has the chemistry on stage worked between you guys so far?
Yeah, it's we've been going through a lot of tests. I was very scared at the first show. Like, are we going to bump into each other? How is this going to work? Because I'm using 3 microphones, and I'm still using 3 microphones live. So everybody needs a certain coordination on stage. But Mike and me were already doing this for a long time together, and Damir really understood the band really well. He's a professional musician. He did really good, and it wasn't easy because we were playing from small stages. Co-headlining with Overkill, where we didn't have so much space because Overkill had the main setup. 2 headlining shows of ourselves where we had a whole theater stages for us. Now to the huge big stages of the festivals, which is amazing space, of course, So we had to go through all those stages now to find ourselves, but it actually worked really well, and we're all professionals, so. We have a very good chemistry within the band. It worked great. Priority album when we rehearsed the songs and when we wrote the songs, and it worked live very good too. So this is a very strong lineup, and I'm very proud that I can play with those guys. I think it's the strongest Destruction we had in many years, and I wish we would have get a second guitarist earlier, but time wasn't right yet, and now we have done something that was necessary for the future of the band, and I'm very glad that the fans also appreciate it.
Yeah, and what about the tour? You have confirmed some dates around Europe the next few months. Are you planning to tour America, Latin America, for example?
Yeah, you look like you're Latin American, huh? I can tell by your name and by your accent that you're from Latin America.
Yeah, I'm from Chile, actually. I was going to tell you that later.
Yeah, Chile, of course. I mean, Chile has some of the best metal scene in the world. So, of course, we're going to go back to Latin America. We will start this touring schedule right after summer with Overkill again and Flotsam for a second part of the Kill Fest, because the first Kill Fest was sold out everywhere. Now this can be a second round. And then we're going to do a lot of festivals, also going to come to Finland, playing the Steel Chaos Festival in December, I think.
Yeah, November. I think it's end of November.
November, yeah, you're totally right. It's November, it's not December. It's November, yeah, which is very exciting for us to come back finally to Finland again. And then next year, we're going to start a whole touring schedule. And we will have three parts of a European tour. First will be, I think, South Europe. Then we do Central Europe, and then we do East Europe and Scandinavia. And in between those tours, we will do Asia also, and United States and Canada. So the whole first 6 months next year, we're going to be on tour supporting the new record. And then we will see what's the next plan, because we're also holding back a little bit of the time frame for next year and 2021, because we still want to do the German Big Four tour with Creator, Sodom, and Tankard. And so that's also on the list of priorities for the next year. And hopefully we're going to have some good news about this soon. And Latin America is, of course, going to be maybe one of the parts of the world that where this could start also, this tour, because there's a lot of thrash fans down there.
Man, you're reading my mind. I was going to ask you about the Big Teutonic 4 live, if there was any chance to do as a tour, and not only, if I understood correctly, you did one date in Summer Breeze at some point, but like, have you planned to do that as a touring like lineup?
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to do a touring of this, like selected countries, big venues, and everybody has to get that time frame right. Until then, we've been talking about when it could start now, and we all agreed that it's end of 2020 we could do the first shows to test everything, and then in 2021 we could go full force with this package. And of course we have to first of all get our touring schedules right, but Destruction is ready. Basically it's up to Creator now, to Miller, because they're doing a new album of Creator will come next year, beginning of next year, and hopefully we can get this all under one umbrella and make it happen.
Cool, man. That's really great news. Like, I'm sure everyone's going to be very happy. And well,
everybody's excited about it, so it will happen. It's just a matter of time when and how fast. I try to push everybody because we're not getting any younger, and now we're still all in good shape. We all did great albums. There will be a new Creator album coming next year, a new Sodom album coming next year also, and then the time will be right for doing that.
Great. So, as you discover, I'm originally from Chile. Actually, we met once here at a gig, and you were very cool, hanging out with the audience. That was so cool. I wanted to ask you, have you played many times in Chile in different cities, also not only in Santiago?
Oh yeah, we played all over the country actually. Yeah, we have played in Copiapó and played crazy places. So,
yeah, Valparaiso. I noticed a couple of gigs.
Yeah, Chile has so much dedication for metal, and there's so many crazy metal fans there. So it's always amazing to come there and play. And we'll never forget our first time in Chile in 2001 when we came with the Haunted and with Immortal. It was like total chaos. We had a signing session at this record store, and there was mayhem on the street. The people were freaking out. It was something we all remember really well when we look back at the history of Chilean concerts.
Great. So, I heard in a previous interview that, in contrast to other metal musicians who say that they don't currently listen to new music, that they don't even listen to metal at home, I understood that you're still a metal fan and still interested in the current scene. Could you name a couple of bands that you're into that you could recommend or that you think will grow big in the future?
Oh, that's very difficult. I think everybody should build their own opinion. I'm interested in the scene. I'm following, especially the young thrash bands, because that's the music I dig, the music I play myself. That's music I'm good at, and so I'm kind of following, what's coming out of the young and fresh thrash bands, in the last years. So, but basically we have played with many of those bands. So I kind of saw a lot of those young age bands on tour with us, and it's kind of interesting to see the development, like bands like Warbringer and Havoc and Evile that are in the scene now for a couple of years already. Where are they going? Are they going to try to, go away from the style that they have? I mean, Warbringer already tried that, and it wasn't the album that the fans liked so much. It's interesting to see what the young guys are doing now for me. And of course, I'm also producing a young band at the moment, Burning Witches, which is like a female heavy metal band from Switzerland that I'm managing and producing also. So I'm kind of trying to keep up with the young bands, but it's difficult, to say what's the new thing of the day, because at the moment, a lot of the pop metal is very famous, stuff with a lot of keyboards and backing tracks. And that's actually not my kind of metal. I'm either also all the metalcore stuff is not my kind of music. So I'm trying to stick to the old school and see what young bands are supporting the old school and play the old school. And that's very interesting, of course, to see. So But as you said before, it's completely right. I'm not very influenced by newer bands. I think that would be a big mistake to. Then this is what happens to other bands, that you change your own band sound into something new, and the fans will hate it. And that's not my idea. My idea is to defend what we have reached and have our own style, like Destruction has, and that's a great gift, of course.
Yeah, definitely. So I think I have my questions covered now. I don't know if you want to use the rest of the interview or the rest of the time, if you want to send a message to your fans and invite them to listen to Born to Perish.
Yeah, I hope people will like this record. The reaction so far been fantastic. Of course, every record is a new baby, and every record feels special. But of course, this one is a special one for us because we have had a tough last year when Barbara left the band, and it wasn't easy for us to continue and find strength in the future of the band. But I'm glad we pulled ourselves together and found two great people to continue this journey, hopefully for another 10 plus years, as long as we can, because we love what we do. And I think you can hear this on the new album. Destruction doesn't sound like an old band. We sound like a band that still has fun, and we're looking forward to come back on tour. We're also going to be in Finland, of course, at the Steel Chaos Festival, but we're going to have shows all over the world in the next couple of months, so we're looking forward to see you.
Cool, man. Thank you so much for your time. It's always so much fun to talk with you.
My pleasure, my friend. And are you living in Finland or in Chile?
Yeah, I'm living in Finland. I'm traveling there every once in a while, but I'm mostly like, for festivals and gigs. I'm here in Finland and Europe. So hopefully I'll see you next year. I'll see you now in Steelfest, but like, hopefully you play Wacken next year. Last year was like really one of the best gigs.
Thank you. Yeah, it would be great to come back with a 4-piece now to Wacken, to one of the big stages. It would be the right time next year.
Yeah, well, Sodom has been confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure a lot of fans are going to demand Destruction with a 4-piece now and Wacken next year. So hopefully they can come back to us and ask us to be part of Wacken next year. So we will see. At the end, it's always up to the success of a record. How many festivals are interested in inviting you to the shows, But I'm very positive that we're going to have a very busy summer next year and a very busy 2 years in general after this album.
Yeah, good luck, man, and congratulations on the albums. I really loved it.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Yeah, take care.
Have a nice week.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.